welcome. Today we're going to talk about the 4 key things that allowed me to lose over 120 pounds. And I'm going to put a photo here that will show you that. So for those who don't know me, my name is Rachel and I'm a holistic health and life coach. I also have a background in cognitive and behavioral neuroscience. I personally went through a major weight loss transformation that was about so much more than weight. It was about loving myself, honoring my body, learning how to be present in my body, overcoming body image issues, and doing the internal work, the internal and the external work, that if I could encompass it all in one big bubble, the energy behind all of that was around so many lessons in self-love. The 4 key things that enabled me to lose over 100 pounds. And a little background information for those who don't know the background story is I was going through it. Like, it was very much so, my mental was showing up physically for me. Like, I was depressed, I was numbing with food and booze. There was also an aspect of psychiatric medications that one of the side effects was weight gain. But there was a lot of different things at play that kind of created this perfect storm. And I'll probably do a whole other video that's just on my story. So the day that I decided that it was time to make a change, I was sitting on my couch. I will remember this moment for the rest of my life. It was like 10 o'clock in the morning. I didn't have a job. I had a pint of vodka in my hand. I had fallen so far from where I was and who I wanted to be in my life path, because I'd always kind of been fit and healthy, and I had big plans for the future before I kind of hit my rock bottom. And this was my rock bottom moment. So I sat there at 10 o'clock and I looked around my life. And I was like, how did I get here? And more importantly than that, I had this realization that if I continued down this path, I was never going to be the person that I knew I was supposed to be, which I had always kind of described as a happy, healthy hippie. Like, that was it. I want to be happy, I want to be healthy, and I want to be a hippie. So in that moment, I decided that I needed to change my life. And I didn't make it complicated. I didn't have a huge plan. It was right then and there. It was, what is the lowest hanging fruit? What is the thing that I know if I make this change is going to have a big impact on my health? I like to call this the needle mover. So what was the needle mover in my health? And the answer was easy. I needed to stop drinking. I needed to put that pint away for a very long time. So then I just took it one day at a time, because I stopped drinking, I stopped smoking, I got a job, I started working out. I did keto, and then about a year and a half into keto, I started working out. And then I've just been able to maintain it ever since. Now, I no longer do keto because I think keto is a fantastic tool for certain people. But long term, I just believe in good quality, whole foods, well-balanced, honoring your body, that kind of thing. So the first thing to be successful on truly anything, okay, so that's the thing about these tips, is that they go beyond your health goals. These are true for anything that you're trying to accomplish. So first of all, take extremely small steps, and I'm talking baby steps, like baby steps. So there's the saying that small hinges swing big doors, or you may have heard the saying that a journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step, and it really is true. So making those small changes every day add up tremendously. Every time that you make a decision that is in alignment with who you want to be, the life you want to live, and the experiences you want to have, you are winning. So just take those really, really tiny steps. It doesn't have to be huge. You don't have to go and change your entire diet and lifestyle overnight. Just make one small change that you know is going to make a big difference in your health. And this brings us to our second part. So pick that one thing that you know is going to make a big difference. Step 2, focus on the here and now and not on the big end goal. Okay, I'm going to say that again. Focus on the here and now and not on the big end goal. So by that, I mean, when I started this journey that day, I had no vision for 2 years down the line. I did not know I was going to lose 120 pounds. I did not know where this was going to lead me. I had no clue what the future held. And I wasn't even thinking about that, because if I knew I was here at the very beginning of this journey and I wanted to be way down there, it just felt incredibly overwhelming and disempowering. So instead of doing that, I just focused initially on each moment. Like, I stopped drinking, I threw out the pint, and that day I was just getting through the day one moment at a time without a drink. And then the next day it was getting through that day one moment at a time without a drink. And then the next day it was the same thing, and that continued. And I just focused on that day, on that moment, on that choice. And, if you shrink it down to those small choices, each moment by moment, you can get through it. You can make the choice in that moment if you take it one step at a time, one moment at a time. Then after it stopped being that moment, and then it stopped being that day, then it started being, okay, imagine how good I'm going to feel when I get to the end of the week. And then when I got to that end of the week, I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Now, how am I going to feel at the end of the next week? And then I took it in week-long chunks for a while, week-long chunks. And then it became, oh my gosh, imagine how I'm going to feel at the end of the month. And then at the end of 3 months. And I never really pushed it past 3 months. I only took it in 3-month increments. Now, the third thing is to adopt a growth mindset, okay? Adopt a growth mindset. It does not have to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect, and that's okay. And a reframe for you is that we actually have to get it wrong in order to get it right. We're going to mess up. It's just the facts. It's just the truth. But the faster you get it wrong, the faster you get it right. And falling off track is one of the most pivotal moments in a health journey, because if we're talking the long-term game, if you want to live a long and healthy life, then you got to learn how to get back on the horse every time you fall off, because life's going to happen. You're going to fall off. You've got a whole life to live. And each time you fall off track, each time you mess up, each time you deviate, can you get on track faster than you did before? Can you creatively problem solve in a way that you didn't before to set you up for that long-term success? Because that's one of the most important skills. It is one of the most important health skills. And usually when we mess up, it's filled with shame and blame and we beat ourselves up, but it's actually one of the biggest opportunities to learn one of the most important skills when it comes to your health. Now, the fourth thing, this one is huge. It's huge. And this is setting up support and accountability. So there I was, made the decision. We're making some changes. I'm getting rid of the booze. Second thing I did, call up my parents. And I was like, hey, I need to change my life. It's time to change things around. This is what I'm going to do. I need your support. They got on board so fast. They came home. We threw out all the booze in the house. And they supported me and they held me accountable. And then when I started doing keto, which was a little bit later, first I started with the booze and then the cigarettes, and then I got to keto, and then I got to working out. And when it got to keto, they were completely on board with that too. They supported me. They helped with the grocery shopping. They helped with the meal prepping. They helped just hold me accountable. And this is so often overlooked. And I think it's actually one of the hardest things if your family's not on board with you and the changes you're going to make, which is when having a coach or a support system, a friend, being a part of a Facebook community or something like that, but being a part of something where someone actually cares and is not going to let you off the hook, but is going to truly hold you accountable in a very kind way. And that's why, truthfully, that is one of the most powerful parts about coaching. So to summarize this one more time for you, number one is take extremely small steps. It doesn't have to be a huge change. You don't have to change everything overnight. What is the one thing that's going to make the biggest difference? 2, focus on the here and now, not the big end goal. Take it moment by moment. And every time you make a choice that's in alignment with who you want to be, the life you want to live, or the experiences you want to have, you are winning. Number 3, adopt a growth mindset. Embrace messing up. It's an opportunity for growth. And then number 4, setup support, and accountability. Now, if you'd like, click below. I'm going to have a link and you can do a free consult with me. It's about 45 minutes. We'll talk about where you are, where you want to be, and start brainstorming a plan or a way to overcome some of the obstacles you're experiencing. Also, if you're not already a part of my biweekly newsletter, then please click below. That is a huge support to me. And it goes out biweekly. I think I'm going to start including videos like this in the newsletter. And it's including, holistic health tips, body image tips, self-love tips, moments of encouragement. And the other thing with that is feel free to respond. Like if I send an email, send one back. I really want to have conversations. I really want to support and get to know you and hear about your health journey as well. Also, when you sign up for the newsletter, you'll also get my anti-inflammatory smoothie handout for balancing blood sugar and reducing inflammation. Awesome. And then you'll also get another handout that is 3 science-backed habit hacking tools. Okay, so that's it. Thanks. Have a good one.